It's Christmas week, marquee matchups in college football this coming weekend. The first is in Columbus. Defending champ and third-ranked Ohio State hosting #1 Texas. One big subplot is that both powerhouses will have new quarterbacks under center. Justin Sam for the Buckeyes and Arch Manning for the Longhorns. New on SportsCenter, Texas coach Steve Sarkisian on the challenge of starting the season on the road.
We've got a tough road slate this year, and this is the first one of a few to come. And so it serves us good to have to go on the road early, find out about ourselves, find out where we're at as a program, where we can improve, and where we can continue to get better, because we're going to travel more than any other SEC team this year in our conference. And so this is a great opportunity for us to go do that. Naturally, we believe in our process on the road. We've won 11 in a row on the road now, and they haven't been easy. They've all been very difficult. Going on the road is tough. But this is going to be a heck of a matchup for a great environment against a really good team who's really well coached, who's had a ton of success.
Well, Saturday night on ABC, big SEC matchup. You got the 4th-ranked Clemson taking on 9th-ranked LSU. Clemson, really a dark horse title contender. The Tigers are returning a big chunk of their roster, including their quarterback, Cade Klubnik. LSU trying to make the playoffs for the first time under Brian Kelly, which is his now 4th season there. New on SportsCenter, Kelly on trying to win a season opener since he's been at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an evolution, right? Each year you're developing depth, you're developing a DNA within your team where you know much more about them in terms of what to expect. But I think at the end of the day, this is about depth, and probably the most depth in the roster. Now, we still got to go out and play and perform at the highest level, but I would just say what's different is it's a mature group that has played a lot of football, and we're not going into a game where we can't handle the moment.
All right, we'll see what happens as we say hello and happy college football season to Paul Finebaum. Okay, so Paul, looking at those 4 teams, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, and Clemson, which one needs a week 1 win most?
Christine, that is LSU, and Brian Kelly laid it out a minute ago. He has not won an opener. In fact, LSU has not won an opener since 2019 when Joe Burrow was the quarterback. And if you look at the schedule, you can understand why this is so important. You hate to take a loss into that primetime game at home against Florida. By the way, a team that beat you last year, and then you still have to go to Ole Miss in the month of September, South Carolina, Alabama. This fan base will come apart with a loss on Saturday night.
Yeah, all that, plus the fact that Notre Dame went to the championship game last year. Not a good look for that Brian Kelly. Okay, so college football, as we know, it's back. And so is our favorite game, fine or not fine. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. Paul, Arch Manning will be fine or not fine against Ohio State's defense?
He will be fine. And I know a lot of people are saying he's only started 2 games and they haven't been very meaningful, but he's ready for the moment. Ohio State has a brand new quarterback as well, and I think Arch is built for this. Every time I encountered him this summer, he was confident, not too confident, but confident enough to go up there and perhaps win this game.
I cannot wait for week 1. I will be there in Columbus. Let's talk about a team I just mentioned, Notre Dame. Their playoff hopes will be fine or not fine if they lose to Miami on Sunday.
Not fine, and I know a lot of people are going to come out and say, well, don't you remember last year they lost to Northern Illinois early? Of course, everyone remembers, and then they never lost again. But I think this would be a bad loss for them against a quality team. They have had this proclivity to slip up in the last couple of years. Remember Marshall 3 years ago, so they really don't need to lose this game.
I'm personally hoping they do lose that game because I'm a Cane. All right, Colorado will be fine or not fine this season without Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
I forgot you were in Miami. They're not fine. I mean, I think Coach Prime has bounced back from his illness and what he's had to deal with brilliantly, and everyone is cheering for him. But he needs Shedeur Sanders, not the Shedeur Sanders we saw the other night, and especially Travis Hunter. Yeah. This could be a long season in Boulder.
Okay, so since you forgot, Paul, can I just ask you really quick, is Miami back?
I've said that before and was wrong, so you don't want to hear my prediction for the game. I like Notre Dame, Christine.
Okay.
Don't get mad at me.
Okay.
But that's who's going to win the game.
Okay, we say it every season that Miami's back. We'll see what happens on that Sunday. We're always fine with Paul Finebaum, who joins us every Monday during college football season. Paul, thank you.
A little bit deeper in that LSU-Clemson game. Your 2026 NFL mock draft just came out last week. You got 4 players in the top 16 that you say NFL scouts and guys are going to be watching in this game. So why don't you take us through some of those players that, obviously going to stand out? Let's start with LSU's quarterback.
Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier, who, by the way, is now going to don number 18 for the LSU Tigers. It's a big honor down there in Baton Rouge. A very good process that throws with great anticipation and excellent accuracy as well. You're actually seeing a rushing touchdown here from Garrett Nussmeier, but this is the kind of guy that really operates at his best from the pocket. Not a super dynamic athlete, but certainly good enough to have the attention of NFL scouts. The quarterback on the other side of the field in this game is, of course, Cade Klubnik for Clemson, who's got plenty of experience. He's an excellent athlete, a very, very dynamic runner, as you are seeing right here on the film as well. He had a total of 43 touchdowns during last season, only a 63% completion percentage, but he is a better, more accurate passer than that number would suggest. His defense, though, is loaded. Peter Woods might be the best non-quarterback in the class. I think Caleb Downs from Ohio State might have an argument, but the point is this guy is an absolute chaos causer. He plays from a number of different spots along the defensive front. Didn't have great sack production the past couple of seasons, but this player is the kind of guy that every offensive coordinator builds his game plan to find a way to block him on a snap-in, snap-out basis. His teammate, TJ Parker, had 6 forced fumbles last season. That was a Clemson single-season record. He had 11 sacks last year. He also can line up from a few different spots along that Clemson defensive front. Really refined rusher as well. This is not this athlete like Abdul Carter at that level, but definitely a very good athlete who knows how to get home. He goes 8th in my way too early. Yeah. Let me stress, way too early mock draft to the Patriots. The other thing I have to remind people, it's not my order. Yeah. ESPN Football Power Index decided the order, so if you're mad about your team picking way too high, direct your energy elsewhere.
Okay, since we were talking about that mock draft here, let's dive into that, obviously, Texas-Ohio State game because the mock draft had Arch. They're going number 1. So, and that's all the Browns need. Another quarterback. They'd have like 16 now at this point. What should we be watching for then in Arch Manning in that game?
Everything. You know why? He started 2 games so far in his college career. Now, we have seen some quarterbacks, most notably of late, Anthony Richardson, get drafted very high with limited experience, but this is a big-time projection on Arch Manning. This is the kind of guy who has very good accuracy, throws the football with a loose, live arm down the field. The difference between him and his uncles Peyton and Eli, really good athlete as well. He's done quite a bit of damage with his legs. The tools are all there. The starter kit to be an excellent quarterback is in place for Arch Manning. He has to prove it, though. Again, he has hardly played during his college career, and now the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns, for the first time in the preseason poll ever, are resting much of their hopes on the shoulder of Arch Manning. I think he is absolutely equipped to become a great player and maybe the number 1 overall pick. He has to just show it much more often. That starts on Saturday in Columbus.
Should be a really, really great game. By the way, you can read Field's full mock draft, ESPN.com. Field Yates, we'll see you back a little bit later.
Thank you.
Show. Speaking of big days, how about this? Labor Day weekend. College football games we've got for you. It starts on Thursday. ESPN with 25th ranked Boise State, USF, followed by Nebraska, Cincinnati. Then Deion Sanders, Colorado, hosting Georgia Tech Friday night. And then an ABC triple header for you on Saturday, capped off by 9th ranked LSU, 4th ranked Clemson, and Death Valley. Every game also available on the all-new ESPN app. Listen, there is such a big slate of college football for here for week 1. Take us through the win totals that you're eyeing here.
Start with the Clemson Tigers. Will play over 9.5 wins. Now, the juice is starting to get up there a little bit. I'm surprised the books haven't moved this to 10.5. There's so much to love about this team, starting with that guy right there, Cade Klubnik, 37 career games under his belt, 36 touchdowns to 6 INTs last year. Kid can play. On top of that, they're going to be favored in all 12 games they played this season. They'll be double-digit favorites, in 9 of those 12 games, and they're the most experienced team in the nation, thanks to Dabo finally hitting the portal. Number 2, you want to talk overs. Alabama over 9.5. one of the better and more favorable schedules in the SEC this season. The defense is going to be downright elite. They were 9-3 last year after losing 31 players to the transfer portal in the NFL draft, and 9-3 was considered a down season. We just need one more win. They're favored in 11 of 12. The only dog spot is at Georgia, whom they beat last season. Now, got to go under, and that means Texas, 10.5. Big time price here at 10.5. Remember, it's the 12-game regular season. Playoff games, bowl games, conference championship games do not count. We're going under 10.5 because this is priced to have an elite quarterback. You're going to put a 10.5 out there. The quarterback better be great.
Yep.
Arch might be great, but I haven't seen it yet. He's only thrown 95 career passes. Dog on the road at Ohio State, dog on the road against Georgia. They're going to have tough matchups with Florida, with A&M, with Oklahoma. It's a very good football team, but that defense lost, I believe, 5 starters to the NFL. They'll be good. I don't know if they'll be as elite. I see 2 losses on the schedule.
They're certainly stacked. We'll see what happens. That's Joe Fortenbaugh.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance. Don't speak, let them look right at you.